What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Elliot Explores Everything. Today, we're going to keep it super casual and we're going to be reviewing what the process is like for getting Pokemon card or trading cards graded from professional grading companies. Today, we are joined by Carlton, and Carlton recently went through this whole process. He just got his cards back, hasn't opened the box yet, so we're going to be unboxing them live on camera to see what kind of results he got back from the trading company. So let's jump straight into it. Carlton, welcome.
Hey, thank you, Elliot. Glad to be here tonight. I'm excited to open this box for you guys and see what kind of scores and grades we've got back.
Dude, super stoked. Show us that box right off the bat. Just pick it up
All
and give
right.
us a little show of what it
So
looks
this
like.
is
Ooh,
so this is the box that was returned to me. Nice USPS box, but inside this box is another box, and inside that box has the cards.
which are also
It's like a
boxes.
which are also
Sort of.
boxes. Everything's boxes tonight, like Russian nesting dolls of boxes.
Yes. Love it.
Yeah.
So so I guess let's start at the beginning. What kind of cards did you get graded? And how long have you had these cards?
All right. Yeah. So, uh, going all the way back to when I was younger, back in 1999, I started collecting Pokemon cards with you, Elliot,
Yeah.
and so we had a bunch of Pokemon cards. Um, I actually have all of the entire base set of Pokemon cards, and then I think I'm only missing like 10 of the jungle set and about 10 to 15 of the fossil set from the original 1999 American release Pokemon cards. Um, and yeah, so I've held on to them for a long time, but I actually completely forgot about them. I do move a lot, and instead of doing what most people do when they move, which is slim down all their stuff, toss things, go through their stuff, I kind of just, well, this is in a box, it's staying in a box, and I would just bring boxes and boxes and boxes with me every time I would move instead of slimming down. Well, finally, on this last move, I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to start going through my things again, slimming it down. And in one of um, these boxes, I found a ton of sports cards. So, a ton of football cards, basketball cards, baseball cards, stuff like that. But additionally, I found two binders that I had kept for a long time. I probably should have brought them out for this, but that's not this video. Um,
We could do that
so
for another video because I also
y-
have some cool sports card stuff that we can show. Let me show you just one little one real quick.
yeah,
Um, I have a unopened, what year is this? 1987 top set
hell yeah.
of baseball cards. Pretty cool, super
Maybe
vintage, you
I
know.
think that's a perfect idea for another video. I think I have like 4 or 5 packs of cards as well. We can definitely open those as
Sweet.
well, and as well open yours, and we can just kind of see what those have in it.
So these Pokemon cards have pretty much just been sitting in a box for the last 20 years, 25 years,
S-
something like that.
sitting in a box since 1999. They were out and about, and then whenever I left the house, um, yeah, they just come with me. So I was going through them, found this binder full of Pokemon cards, this other binder full of Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and the nostalgia really hit hard, and I was like, wow, this is really cool. And around this time, I had started watching another YouTube channel and just kind of getting into trading cards, stuff like that, and card grading. And I was like, you know what? Now that I found this binder, I think it would be cool if I went through it and see if I had any valuable cards or potentially valuable cards, and or cards that really meant a lot to me or that I liked. And maybe I send them off to get graded, because when you send them off to get graded, not only can their value go up because the grading companies authenticate that the cards are real, but they grade it saying like, oh, this is how uh, good of a condition these cards are in. But they also put it in a protector, basically a slab, and that protects the cards. And I was like, some of these cards, may not be worth a lot in general, but they mean a lot to me. So I kind of want to protect them more so than just like the regular penny sleeves that you would normally put on a card.
Yeah.
So
So was it
that's
just the
kind that's
nostalgia that hit, or were you also like, I've seen that some of these cards can be worth some money recently, so because it's been popping up on the algorithm and pushing videos of, Pokemon
yeah,
card sells for 2 million or Pokemon card does this, and was
yeah.
there any of that that went through your head a little bit, or was it just, the
Yeah,
nostalgia?
so there was a little bit of that. I started using the eBay collections app, so you can add your cards to that, and then it'll track like the value of your collection. And some of them definitely jumped up in price. I haven't thought about selling any yet, um, but it was just something that I was like, oh well, if I do eventually want to sell them, I gotta get them graded.
Yeah.
Is the better way to go about it.
So how
So
did
that
you
started.
choose who to get them graded by? Are there multiple companies that you can get them graded from, or just like one major one, or how does that kind of work?
Yeah, no, that's a very good question. So there are a bunch of different grading companies, but the major three grading companies is probably the number one is PSA, followed by Beckett's, which is like an auction house and grading company. They have their own grading company, and then SGC. Those are kind of like the top main three. Well, when Corona hit, everyone started going through their stuff, finding all their lost collections, whatever, and sending them off. Well, if you're going to get them graded, most people at the time were getting them graded by PSA because PSA just typically commands a higher price. They all the companies have the same quality and standards, but for whatever reason, PSA is number one. Well, PSA got backlogged so much so that it was taking people literally a year to a year and a half to get their cards back. Some people
Wow.
still haven't gotten their cards back from over, like I said, over a year plus when they sent their cards in, just because of the backlog. So to alleviate that, PSA stopped sending or stopped accepting submissions, and then whenever they did start accepting submissions again, they raised their prices, like per card. Um, Like it was like $400 per card. They since lowered it again
Wow.
a little now. Now I think it's like $100 or $150 per card. So that
Wow.
is
So this is
still
no
a
cheap
lot of
feat.
money.
Yeah, this is
Th-
you got to spend some
Yeah.
money to get these graded and protected and
Yes.
rated, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah. Because for some of them, they're investments. When if you have a card though that say is worth a couple million or a couple thousand, you know, paying that $400 fee, that's the
It's
cost
kind
of
of
doing
like
business
minting
for
your
some people.
NFT basically.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. Um, so I started looking at the three grading companies, and uh, there was another YouTube channel out there that was able to get a behind the scenes look at SGC, which is the company I ultimately went with. And I really liked what I saw in that video. And so I kept monitoring them, and then they were able to uh, get their return times back down because like I said, all the major card companies were hit with this backlog. SGC was finally able to get theirs return time down to 30 days or less, but it was averaging about 20-ish days. Not only that, but they reduced their price to $30 a card. So still expensive if you send a lot, but $30 is definitely better than 100, 150, or that some of the other major
Way
companies were
cheaper.
doing,
Yeah.
and the turnaround time was faster.
What's the main differences between the companies? Like why would other than the price, like obviously you'd want to go with whoever's cheapest, but is there like reputability differences or like what would cause someone else to go with like a different company? Like why would someone pay more money for those other companies as opposed to just going with whoever's quicker and cheaper?
So I'm not too sure on the specifics, but All of them have the same grading scale, which is 1 through 10. They all grade based on like the surface of the cards, the corners, the edges, all these different features, and you can pull up a list of it.
Okay.
Um, but some people say like certain companies like are better to send like your vintage cards to, and then like another company may be better to send your modern cards to, and then a different company could be even better for sending ultra modern cards to, like based on how they grade, like because the card companies when they grade them create a pop report which says, hey, we received this card, this is what we graded it at, and they make it public so anyone can see, so they can be like, oh, we've received in total through our entire company's history 1,000 of these cards. Of these 1,000 cards we received, this one specific type, like say the same card, like say a Babe Ruth card or whatever. Of these 1,000 we received, we only gave 4 of those 1,000 a 10,
Mm,
which is like the highest. And then maybe we gave like uh, 50 of those cards a 9, and so on and so forth. So you can kind of gauge like how certain companies grade the eras of cards and stuff. So I
okay.
guess that's it. Other than that, um, like I said, PSA does command a higher price. Their PSA 10s typically do sell for 2 to 3 times more than other companies' 10s. Even though all the cards are, if they do get a 10 or happen to return as a 10, they're in perfect condition. Um,
Just a
that's just
name brand
just
type
how
of
it is.
thing. They're the
Yeah,
ones who
name
happen to
brand.
have
Yeah,
the market.
PSA is the biggest. Yeah. But like I said, SGC is one of the top 3, and that's ultimately the company I went with for, like I said, the cost, and then more importantly to me, the turnaround time. You know, I didn't want to send my cards out uh, and wait 6 months to a year and a half to get them back.
Yeah. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that. We're all working stiffs,
Yes,
busy.
we are. Yes, we are. Definitely on this channel, we are.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So
Well,
yeah. So that like I said, I just wanted to send them out, get them graded, get them protected. Like I said, I don't have any intentions of selling them yet, but we'll
nice.
see.
Well, I'm super antsy to get this box open and check some of these out, but
Yeah,
before we do that, you want to kind of walk us through briefly what the process of sending these in was like, or what all you had to go through? Um, maybe show us what the website's like, or what you
yeah,
had to go through.
yeah, absolutely. So let me share my screen. This is the SGC dashboard. Whenever you sign into the website, you can check on your orders, your payment to them. Um, if you need to talk to customer support, your profile, seller ready is important. One thing SGC does is when you do send your cards in to get graded, not only do they authenticate them, not only do they grade them, but they actually take high resolution photos both of the front and the back of the cards, and they send those back to you as
That's
well.
super
So
sweet.
you
That's
can,
pretty cool.
yeah, so you can keep them, you can share them with friends. If you do decide to sell it, that's why it says seller ready. You can use those high resolution photos to post on any selling websites or things of that nature. So I think
Make them
it's
an
that's pretty.
NFT.
Yeah, make them an NFT. So it's pretty. It's actually super simple to submit a card. All you do is you do start new submission. You agree to their terms, right? Which no one ever reads those. Uh, so you're just gonna say, start your order. You're gonna search for a card. So it's best to start with the year first. So we'll do 1999 Pokemon,
So
and then
already
from
we're
there,
seeing all sorts of stuff pop up, like the baseball cards you were talking about. So these companies will rate all sorts of different cards, whether it's playing cards, trading cards.
yeah,
Okay.
any cards, memorabilia, stuff like that. Some of the big things right now that these card companies are actually grading are Marvel cards, Star Wars trading cards, tickets, stubs, like
Mm.
tickets to a concert, stuff like that, especially if it's signed. stuff like that. But yeah,
Very
so
cool.
you to search, like you said, you just type in the year. So every set, whether it's baseball, basketball, hockey, whatever, it all has a year that it starts with. So you say, in this instance, we'll just do 1999 Pokemon base, right? The Pokemon base set, and then you can scroll through and you can see all the different Pokemon versions and cards, and you can hit more results or whatever. We'll just do um, let's do Alakazam, right? And we'll say Alakazam first edition, boom, and then we'll say what's the declared value. So this declared value, every grading company is going to ask you for this. This is not you saying this card is a 10, so the price is $1 million. That's not it. What their declared value is what is this card worth raw, meaning like ungraded,
Just the cost,
or
basically. Like,
just the cost of the card. Yeah, so you can, there's price comp things out there. You can just go look on eBay and type in the card number, find an ungraded one, and be like, oh, I don't know, this card's worth $10 or $50, whatever, something like that.
okay. So
And
not
then
necessarily the price that you paid for it, but the current value of any run-of-the-mill version of this card.
yes, ungraded,
Okay.
ungraded, right? And then you select what service you want. So you got your raw grading cards, um, which is what I submitted as. Crossover is if a different grading company graded it, because like I said, there are more than the big three out there, but there's some. Maybe you want to take one of your cards that's been graded by someone else and get it graded by SGC
A
instead.
second opinion, if you will.
Yeah, and then they also can reholder it. Um, as well, or just review it and authenticate it. If
Okay.
say you didn't want it graded, say you just want it verified as authentic, they will do that for you. So from there, you just add your cards as many as you want, and it's just going to total up the fee. Remember, SGC is $30 right now. So you just add as many as you want. You hit next. You select what service you want. So for me, I did the standard service, but they do offer some faster turnaround times, like if you got like a real expensive one. We'll just do that. Super easy. You punch in your shipping address, what you want them to return it as. So I just did mail on the way back, and then yeah, you finish and
Sweet.
pay there. And then from there, uh, the fun begins, right? So they give you an invoice list. You take all your cards that you have, and it's recommended that when you ship it to them, you put each card in a penny sleeve, which I have an example of a penny sleeve right here. That's just the clear sleeve. So here's just a regular card I put in a penny sleeve, right? So it's the clear plastic um, sleeve there, and then you take that and put it in a semi-rigid holder, which let me see if I have an open one of those. I do, maybe. Semi-rigid holder looks like this. It's just a bigger, firmer piece of plastic, and you basically take that card, the penny sleeve, and you open it up and you slide that card right in here, just like that.
So these are well protected.
Yes, yeah, because at this point, for me, I'm doing the card grading as kind of like a hobby or an interest, sort of thing, just for fun. Whereas other people kind of don't. They do it as
Business,
their
yeah.
job. Yeah, their business. So yeah, so the semi-rigid holder protects it really well, keeps it nice and rigid.
Sweet. So that was a quick rundown of the process that you went through,
Hmm.
and really appreciate you showing us what you kept your cards in, the penny sleeves, semi-rigid holders, and then maybe if you're super crazy, you then dunk all that in a crazy epoxy mixture, and then you have a big epoxy block, and
Yeah,
I don't think anybody actually does that, but you know, maybe with a million
Yes,
dollar card or something.
yeah. So you take your penny sleeves, your semi-rigid holders, you take all that and you stack it in order that they give you on your invoice, right? And then you take those and you put like a piece of cardboard on top, a piece of cardboard on bottom, and then you like either tape it or rubber band it together to basically hold it. Because now the cardboard's acting as like a protector for the top and bottom card, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, um, you can, if you want, depending on the card you have, put that in bubble wrap, put that in a box, and then put that box in another box, is what they recommend. That way, when you mail it, there will be evidence if it's been tampered with, and no one will know.
Not only
And
that,
then
but
the
we
best,
know how well that these shipping companies treat our packages. We all see how our packages arrive, and
yeah,
it doesn't hurt to have 2, 3, 4 layers of boxes.
yeah,
Um,
if you're sending the card off to get graded, it's worth your time and investment
you don't
to
want
wrap it and protect
Ace
it.
Ventura kicking it down the block. So
Exactly. And then yeah, you just go to the company, the shipping company, USPS, FedEx, whoever, and you ship it. The companies or the card grading companies do recommend that you insure it. So that's always fun, You're trying to protect it, not let anyone know what's in this box, and then you go, "Hey, please insure this box for $2,700." Or whatever it happens
yeah,
to be, and then they're like, "Yes, I will instantly steal that."
yeah, they'll put it right by
So,
the back door and
yeah.
mark it for theft.
Yes. And yeah, you send them off, and then you wait, and then eventually, a box like this shows back up at your door.
So how long did you wait? You selected the 25 to 30 days. How long did you actually end up waiting for
So
yours?
yeah, that's a good question. So I submitted it uh, on March 4th. They received it in mail in their possession March 9th, and then it was graded and mailed out March 25th. And then I got it, um, I don't know, like March 29th, March 30th. So,
Pretty
y-
accurate
you know,
turnaround. Yeah,
yeah, very, very accurate on the turnout round time. I thought it was very speedy delivery. They don't work on weekends there, just Monday through Friday.
great
So
company.
yeah,
Good for them. Good.
yeah, and
Sweet.
yeah, it was fantastic the turnaround time, and now I'm excited to hopefully get some good grades out of these cards.
So
You
before
know,
we open it, what are you thinking off the top of your head? What do you think the highest grade you're gonna get is on a card? And what do you
I
think is
hope
the lowest that you'll get?
so. I don't think I have any tens. I
Hmm.
don't. Some people will only send tens off to get graded cards that they think are a 10. These cards were sitting in a box in a 3-ring binder for a long time. And back in the day when I first started, 3-ring binders with sleeves, right? The 9 cards per sleeve or whatever. That was the go-to way to store and save your cards.
Hmm.
Turns out, not so smart. Apparently, holding them in 3-ring binders over time, um, the cards closest to the rings actually bend a little, which, if you're going to get them graded, ruins them. And then, if you don't put them in penny sleeves before putting them in there, the edges get fucked up. It's a whole thing.
Man.
So they've been in there for a while. So the highest I'm hoping for, I would be happy with. I would be happy with a 10. But really, I think nines and belows. I think probably some sevens, some eights, and I'm happy with that. That still is a very good quality. And like I said, you'll have to check out the list of what they actually graded as.
Hmm.
Um, and eights are really good still. Tens are obviously perfect, but and yeah. So I sent off some Yu-Gi-Oh and some Pokemon ones. The Pokemon ones I think will probably return a little bit higher scores. The Yu-Gi-Oh ones, some of them I did actually play with, and I went to a tournament with before. Like I actually played with them. They were in sleeves back then, but
How
just
did
because
you
I think
choose
I was using them
which
more.
ones that you wanted to send off? You said you have most of the base set of the Pokemon cards. So of that, what is it? 100 and something. How did you decide which ones that you were actually going to send out?
Yeah, so I have all of the base set, original base set Pokemon, and then most of the fossil and most of the um, jungle.
Hmm.
So what I went through is I looked for cards that were holographic and first edition is what I sent off, and I did that for Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh. There were some cards in there that I sent off that were not first edition, but
What's
they were
first edition
holographic.
for those that might not be familiar with trading card games or the whole
Yeah, first edition is just the
niche?
first print run of that card set, and it's usually very limited in time that it's printed for. So they're a little bit rarer than the unlimited version, which there could be thousands and thousands and thousands printed of a card.
Okay, so
But
first
the
edition would
first
be
edition
this
is
card
very
first
limited.
came out. It's the first week that we've printed this card. So however many we print in that 1 week, those are the first edition, and then
Yeah,
it might be 200 of them or 1,000 or whatever.
yeah, exactly. That's a good way to look at that.
Okay,
And then so some of the other cards I sent in that weren't necessarily first edition have, some more sentimental value to them, to me. So, and in total for this order, I did send in 17 cards. So yeah,
sweet.
that's what we're looking at.
Well, I'm
Well,
stoked to
shall
get
we?
this open. I think you're stoked. Let's go ahead and do this.
I've been
Reposition, do what you need to do.
I've been
Um,
excited. So
and
here we go. We're cut this open. Handy dandy box cutter, nicely graded cards, sharp metal edge. You know what else do you need?
and your address is already blurred out on that, correct? So I don't need to go in
Yes.
post and blur it out on there. Perfect.
Yeah. Correct.
Oh
So
no, the
this.
camera dropped down.
Oh God. Thanks. There we go. So this is how they packaged it and sent it back to me.
See, if I was buying Pokemon cards off you, I'd say you scammed me just then. I'd say you swapped out the boxes in that short time.
Boom. So that's right. A little Houdini magic.
I'm gonna
So
switch to Carlton full screen for this, just so we can get the full
this is
experience.
actually a fat heavy stack.
Wow. Camera
Oh my
fell.
God. Lost the camera again. Let me see if I can fix that.
We're just real working people over here, everyone.
Yeah.
So no
So there you go.
professional quality.
So that's what was in the box. And as you can see, so SGC is known uh, for when they send back their graded cards. Inside it has like a black background, so everyone calls it the tuxedo look. So they've kind of
Mm.
adopted that and now made it their slogan. It says "Tuxedo Time."
Pretty
So
cool
it is
sticker. That's a cool sticker.
tuxedo time. Yeah. So yeah. So
Nice.
there we go. So now,
On a scale
as you
of
can
1 to
see,
poop your pants, how excited are you right now?
I'm very very excited. I've been waiting a long time. Like I said, it was probably 3-4 months leading up to this that I was going back and forth. I was like, do I grade some? Do I not grade some? Because it is still a pretty, even at $30 a card, it is still a pretty substantial, amount of money.
Mm-hmm.
And remember, I don't plan on selling these, so it's just me sending them off to get basically encapsulated. So it's
$30
still a lot
times
of money.
17 cards, people. That's no chump change.
No chump change at all. But yeah, so I'm very excited, and this actually really does have some heft to it. I should have brought a scale, and we could have weighed this. But yeah, so this is how they returned it in that box. It was packaged. It wasn't moving around, wiggling at all, and now it's surrounded by bubble wrap. So just give me a moment to
Carefully open it.
figure my way through this. You know.
For all you Boy Scouts out there, Carlton did check his blood circle. All right, there's no one within his blood circle as he plays with this box cutter.
That's right. And I'm trying to do it in a way where I don't even see the grade deck. I want to be just as surprised as you guys. I do kind of want to save this sticker though, but
Yeah,
I don't
stick
know
it
where
somewhere where you could save it.
I don't know where I'd stick it. No, we're just gonna have to set this off to the side for now. We'll be back for that. All right, so we're making progress. Just kidding. I thought we were making progress. I'm not kidding. They really have it. Really, it is duct taped and
Little package ASMR for you people out there.
yeah. I'm sure there's a better way to do this. But yeah, they got it packing taped. They got it bubble wrapped. We're almost off. There we go. And they got it rubber banded, like I said. So which way?
Look at that. This is dealer's choice. You've been waiting on this. We're just here along for the ride and glad you brought us with you.
Yeah. So this is it. Ooh. Ah. Yeah. So you can see the back of it, and each slab. They got some sort of protective film over the first slab, it looks like, and the last slab. So what we'll do is we'll start.
And that's on the other side is some kind of invoice or packaging slip with
Yeah,
it. Okay.
yeah. So take that off. Take these rubber bands off. Throw that down there.
It's tuxedo time, folks.
It's tuxedo time. Who doesn't love a good tuxedo time? Pretty cool. Their cases do seem to clip into each other. That's kind of neat.
That's very
So
cool.
we'll take this card out of here. That's the.
So just the
I
end ones
guess
were in that little plastic, or are they all in those little plastics?
it looks like just the end ones are in that plastic, and I'll take this one out too.
They look really crisp, really clean.
Yeah, I'm excited.
It looks like they give these the white glove treatment. No
Yep.
fingerprints, no nothing, just.
Yeah, and then before they get them in, they won't clean your card, so it is recommended to clean your cards before you send them off to get graded. And there's different ways to do that. But they will lightly dust off the card. And besides, why wouldn't you clean off your card before you send it? You want to try and return it with the highest grade.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll start with the Yu-Gi-Oh ones first because if we start the other way, the grades are going to be revealed. So we'll start face down. Hopefully we start out strong. Yeah. That being said, I'm gonna try and flip the camera now. All right, ready for the first one?
Let's do it. Already off the bat, a 9, folks, for Trial of Hell. Look at that.
So the cool thing about this card and why I sent it off is this was a limited run here in the U.S. because not only is it a Legend of the Blue Eyes Yu-Gi-Oh card, which was the first set released in the U.S., but this is a first edition Legend of Blue Eyes card, and on top of that, it says Trial of Hell. Okay, so Trial of Hell ended up getting redone. Is the text still blurry?
Yeah, a little bit. We'll figure it out. Our analysts are telling us that a 9, a PSA 9 of Trial of Hell is worth $75.
Yeah. So, Trial of Hell, the cool thing about this, back to that long rant, sorry everyone, technical difficulties, right? Technology doesn't work. Autofocus is like, screw it, too shiny, can't focus. So the cool thing is, though, like I said, Legend of Blue Eyes, first set released in the US. This is a first edition. Later on, this only ran for about a month, I believe. They stopped it and they changed it from Trial of Hell to Trial of Nightmares because there's actually like 20 plus Yu-Gi-Oh cards that ended up getting censored in some way, and this was one of them. So because it had the word hell in it, the word hell had to go, and they changed it to Trial of Nightmare.
Mm.
And then,
Freedom of speech alive and well here in the United
yeah,
States.
yeah, and then even this one though is already semi-censored because in Japan, the Japanese version has blood coming out of the coffin where it's stabbed, whereas this one does not. So just
Wow.
something
That's pretty cool, actually. That's a neat
yeah.
little piece of info.
So that's kind of why I sent this one off. This one's not the most valuable out there, but I thought, you know, I have a first edition of it, so why not send it off to get graded? And like I said, this is kind of like what the back looks like to give you an idea that it is clear in the front and back. And each card returns with the grade up top, and then it gives you the information like what the card actually is. So
Nice. Great
yeah,
first
so
start. Really cool
let's see
card.
what we got now.
9.5, everybody, with the
9-5.
holographic Goblin Attack Force.
Goblin Attack Force holographic. I sent this one off for the same reason because it was a first edition one. This one was a first edition Pharaoh's Servant. That's what the PSV means. I don't know if you can see it, but different cards, whether it's Pokemon, sports cards, or others like that. I should probably leave that monitor off. Actually, that probably looks better.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, they all have their set name and number. So this is Pharaoh's Servant card number 94 from the set.
Sweet. What do our analysts say about the
I'm,
price?
I'm pretty happy with that one. So SGC 9.5 Pharaoh's or Goblin Attack Force.
For a comparison, PSA 9 of that is worth $100.
Boom.
Not that we care about cost
Yeah.
around here, but the people on YouTube love that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Next up,
Oh, Blue
two.
Eyes.
Yeah, Blue Eyes White Dragon. So I sent him off
2.
to get graded. This was one of the ones I actually played with in a tournament, but I thought the front, he actually looks really good on the front, but the reason he got a 2 is the back. So there's actually I don't know if you can see it. There's a crease in this corner right there.
Mm.
And then there's some damage on the back. Basically all the back corners, but the front side of him looks money.
Very cool card. One
So,
of the more powerful cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! We'll blame Kaiba, right, for the defects on the back.
That's right. That's right. So, he's not a first edition card either. So you can pick these up for a decent price. But like I said, sentimental value. I did actually go to tournaments and play with this guy in my tournament deck. So, he served me well. So I thought, why not protect him?
He's battle hardened.
He's battle hardened. That's right. Next up, another one.
4.5. Nice.
4.5. This one.
Ultra rare,
Yes.
it says.
Yep. Yeah. So they should both say ultra rare. The reason why these two cards are the same, but you'll notice their printout is different, is one is a 2, the other is a 4.5. So by adding the decimal point and the extra number, it shortens how they can type it out, basically. Next up, 6. So this is actually shocking. I thought this guy.
And this is the Red Eyes Black Dragon.
Red Eyes Black Dragon, first edition, starter deck Joey. So I actually thought this guy was going to return with a higher grade because he was in really good condition. The back looks pretty good to me, but I'm not a trained expert. I don't see any I don't see any cuts or gouges in him.
I guess you just don't have that
But
trained eye.
I don't. But hey, the holographic looks fantastic on him though. Like
Pretty cool
it may
card.
be hard. It may be hard to see in the camera, but it looks really good. And like I said, these guys are now protected by sleeves. So that's it for the Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Yu-Gi-Oh's done, over with. We got Pokemon cards next. So
The
for those of
analysts
you
are letting
interested.
us know that that last card goes for around $50. So another come up on your money if you were worried about
This
the
one?
money.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So if he would have returned higher, he can sell for a couple hundred, and one even sold for like 1,400 plus.
Wow.
Yeah. So that I had to send him off, especially being first edition Red Eyes Black Dragon from the 2002 set. All right, ready for some Pokemon, all you Pokemon fans out there?
Who's that Pokemon?
Okay. Oh yeah, hear those applause. They want it.
Machamp.
It looks like
9. Nice.
Machamp. Nine. I'm happy. Happy with that.
Machamp is the evolution of Machop, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
And then before that's Machoke.
Mmm.
Pretty sure.
Good memory.
If not, the Pokemon fans are just gonna murder us.
Yep,
So.
that's all right. Let us know in the comments down below. Give us that engagement. Let us know how wrong we are.
Let's see if I can mess with the camera some more and get a good image of his holographic. Because if you look in his holographic,
That is that's a perfect shot. Do more of
you
that.
can
That looks
actually
good.
see.
Right there. It's perfect.
You can actually see that he has the holographic's arm, right, or his arms in the holographic, if that makes sense.
That's really cool artwork. Goes for
Yeah, and
around $100 and something, our analysts are saying, as a 9. Pretty good.
yeah, and that's also why I really wanted to send some of these off. It's art. It literally is art.
It's art and memories and childhood fun time. Pinsir with the 6. You'd find Pinsir in the Safari Zone, everyone.
First edition jungle holographic Pinsir.
Right there, yeah.
The camera hates when I go close, so I gotta. But then it hates when I go far. Come on. There we go. Let's see what other ones we got. Clefable.
Clefable with the 7.5. Nice. I love the holographic on that one. That's a cool color.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some really cool artwork. How do people, I guess this is why like actual YouTubers have like whole setups and stuff.
$2,000 cameras, and they're using
Yeah, like
Sony A7Xs for their cameras, and yeah.
so the interesting thing about Pokemon cards, which I haven't seen any yet, I've been looking for it, is some Pokemon cards will have swirls in it in the holographic itself. And that happens to make the cards more collectible. Not necessarily more valuable, but some people specifically collect cards that have the swirl in it.
Jolteon, an Eevee evolution with the 8.
Heck yeah. Let's see if we can get it to focus right. It
It
like
gets it
does it
for a
for a second.
second, yeah.
It really hates the holographic. It's like too many things to focus on.
That card as an 8 is worth around $150, our analysts are saying.
Heck yeah.
Shout out to our analysts, Peter.
Peter, you're doing a fantastic job. Let's see what we got. We got Snorlax,
Snorlax, a fan favorite.
baby. Look at this guy.
With the 7.
Always asleep.
Find him blocking various paths in the Pokemon game.
That's right. Ooh.
Look at the way that sparkles.
You can kind of see it shimmer. Yeah, you know, so, and like I said, all with SGC, all of them are come back in this slab with the black outline, so that's why it's tuxedo time. I actually kind of like the look and the feel of these slabs. It gives it a really good, clean look.
Snorlax 7 goes for around $130.
See, next up,
Haunter with the
Haunter
8.
8. Heck yeah.
Very
So
nice.
he is holographic as well. How's that working for the holographic? Better? Should I go back to the other angle?
Whatever works. We'll show the
yeah, or I
those
could
high
just show all
quality.
of them like show all of them like this, and then
We can
always
go back
go
and
back
just try
to
to
certain cards. You know, 8-5
for the
Aerodactyl.
Aerodactyl.
Close to a 9.
Almost.
Also holographic, like I said. All of these are, for the most part, first edition holographic is what I was going for.
Very cool.
I say that, and this guy is not a holographic. So I just sent him off because, like you mentioned earlier, Elliot, just really cool artwork, some of these cards. So for this guy, you know, who doesn't love this guy? Look how cute he is.
And
Dragonite.
an 8 with the non-holographic. Really nice.
Non-holographic, first edition fossil set. Yeah. But yeah, look at that.
Evolution
very
of Dratini.
Cool. Very cool artwork. All right, we got 4 left.
Kabutops with the 9.5.
Damn. You know, I did not expect that from him when I sent him off, but damn, he does actually look
like
really,
now that I'm getting a good look at him, he looks pretty good.
Now that he's in this slab,
he's got his tuxedo on. He looks pretty good.
Shoot, he's looking like Mr. James Bond. Oh, that's what I'm gonna nickname this one.
Went from looking like a Mr. Bean to a Mr. James
So
Bond.
We'll have to get a good angle of him
shiny,
shimmering. 9.5. All right, so these last 3, I know what they are in my head. Don't know the grades. So these last 3 are the big 3 of any Pokemon collection. You know, you got your Charizard, your Blastoise, and your Venusaur. So these are not first edition versions, because if they were first editions, they would be worth multiple thousands to even millions of dollars. You know, but still, having all 3 of them in the base set is still a pretty good feat that surprisingly some collectors still don't have. So I was fortunate enough to have all 3. So of course all 3 got to get sent off to get protected.
And these were rare back in the day.
Yeah.
Venusaur with the
Eight
8.5.
8.5. Hell yeah.
Nice.
I'm happy with that. Like I said, I
Very
didn't know what I
nice.
was expecting when I sent these off. I knew they weren't none of them were probably going to return a 10. Um, I was just going to be happy with anything 6 and above, and here we go, you know? So, Venusaur,
Especially for
8.5.
having some little grubby kid fingers on it back in the day. We were pretty young when we were
Yeah,
doing this stuff, so I remember
we
opening
were,
them up at the mall, opening them up all sorts of places. So,
yeah, I remember opening them at the mall too, and uh, you know, I'm sure we played with some of them
hmm
because I did go back and look at some of the just like the regular base set non-holographic ones, and yeah, some of them were definitely looked rough. And not only that, but you know, these have sat in a binder in a box. They've made it through 4 different moves now. I move a lot.
bunch of
Um,
hurricanes, all sorts of
a
stuff.
hurricane, like they've made it through a lot just sitting in these binders. So the fact that it's returning as an 8.5, I'm very thrilled with.
Very
That's cool.
nice. Now, which starter did you always pick in the games?
Uh, Charizard. I love fire.
Yep.
You know, Charizard is actually one of the harder ones to start with in the red game, just because the first couple bosses you face are you know more
Water
of a
based or
challenge. Yeah. So supposedly, if you want an easy time, you pick Venusaur because you got Rock. He does pretty decent against Rock, and then you got Water, which he does fantastic against Water. So yeah, 7.5
7.5.
Blastoise.
Nice.
Heck
Very
yeah,
cool.
and we'll go back and we'll look at those 3 in and Kabutops, of course, uh, a close up of their holographicness. Yeah, maybe for the next ones I send off, I'll send their de-evolved versions. You know, that way I can put like all 3 versions. You know, their base, their evolved one, and then their
Put them in a
final form
case,
version. Yeah,
hang it on the wall.
they do make some pretty neat cases for them that basically you take these and it basically clips in like that and holds it, and you can get them like rows of them or like a 3 by 3 or however many you want. You can custom make it and hang it on your wall and literally display it as art.
That's pretty cool.
And the final card we got is Charizard
With the 8, nice.
8. So this is a 1999 Pokemon base set Charizard. Now you're gonna see a bunch of these online. Not necessarily the base version, but you'll see they've re-released this as like a 25-year celebration card, which has a big 25 over here. Um, they also re-released it in like 2002 as an unlimited version and all sorts of stuff. But this is the original 1999 base one, and
Very
I am
nice.
very thrilled uh, that he returned as an 8.
Analyst is telling us around $900. Pretty nice.
Very nice. Yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah.
What a set that you have got there. What some great results.
Let's see if I can pull this off.
Ah! So overall, give us your thoughts. What do you think? Are you happy with most of those results? Are you
Yeah, I actually am. I am. Probably the most disappointing ones were those blue eyes ones. I thought they still would have got maybe higher than that two really shocked me.
mm-hmm.
The rest of my set you saw was like 6 and above, which I expected. Um,
Two's pretty shocking though.
two was very shocking. Um, but yeah, I am thrilled. absolutely thrilled with this. So very happy. Let's see if we can
It does it
get
for a
it to
split
focus.
second, and then it.
Yeah, it really hates the holographic.
So do they tell you at all on the website or in that packing slip, like point for point, why they took stuff off, or is it just here's our number and you'll never know why?
So SGC does not. Um, some companies do. They'll actually put it in the label here. That'll say like uh, centering, surface, corners, and edges, and they'll actually grade it, and then they kind of average it.
Mm.
SGC does not. PSA does not. Um, Beckett's does, but you have to pay extra for that. So it's actually kind of funny. I never noticed it before. Venusaur is so huge. There's hardly any holographic left, like that's exposed or to be exposed. You know?
Compared to most of the cards, yeah.
Yeah. We'll do a side by side comparison once we're done, kind of doing that. Look at that blue sparkle.
Yeah, that one's got some really nice sparkle to it.
Only it would focus. And then my boy Charizard.
The big dog. Everybody's
See,
favorite.
it loves Charizard. Look, even the camera loves Charizard. I say that, and then it went out of focus again. So, yeah. Yeah, so if you look, just look at how big Blastoise is compared to these other two. Like, plenty of holographic exposed there, not so much here.
Really great results.
Yeah, I'm absolutely happy with it. I think it's a very good showing. Let's see. Let's turn my lights back on.
Yeah,
All my lights are on.
that was a blast. I'm really happy with how that went. I think that was a lot of fun. I'd love to do it again with, any future grading that you have. Definitely
Yeah,
bring
I
us
definitely
along for
plan
the
on.
ride.
Yeah, I definitely plan on sending some more out to get graded. Um, just because now I'm kind of hooked. This was actually really fun. Like opening these up, seeing these, especially these big three. How can you not like that? Like if you're a collector or you're sentimental about your childhood, you know,
Oh,
get one more shot of these guys.
sorry, this little little sneeze action there.
Yeah, no, sneeze away. So you got these three, the big three, and then let's see if I can find them. The other nine 5. See, now I'll show this one again. Now I gotta kind of pick through them all. So many slabs. This is actually really neat handling them. It's uh, I kind of
You
like
should
it.
have gloves on. You're going to contaminate even the sleeves.
Yeah, I know. So they do actually sell protectors for
Sleeves for the sleeves.
uh, slab protectors. So they make some that are like rubber guarded, like your phone.
Get an OtterBox for your.
Yeah, pretty much. So, you got the two
Those are
nine
cool.
fives.
Very nice. Those are your two highest ones, almost 10s.
So those are the two highest ones, and then some other honorable mentions. Like I said, we learned about the cool Trial of Hell one, and
Yeah,
then
that's a
Machamp
really
just
neat one to have graded and sealed
yeah,
up just for historical purposes.
yeah. So there you go. Yeah, so that's kind of a cool grading card experience. Overall, I would say SGC was pretty easy to deal with. For those of you that care about customer support, I did have some questions leading up to actually submitting the cards because I'm nervous. I had never done it before, so I did actually email them twice about two different questions, and they got back to me within the same day. It was a very quick email response. So it was overall my experience with them was good, and that was
Sweet.
the only communication back and forth with them. Other than that, paid them, mailed my cards off, waited my 20-ish days, and got this back in the mail,
Awesome.
which was
Not only that, but you
a
get those high
blast.
quality images, and that's super cool.
Yeah, yeah. Get those high quality images, which you'll be including in your show.
Yep.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm excited. I don't know how I'm gonna store these yet. Some people get some like Pelican cases for it, but I gotta convince the wife. Maybe I can get one of the wall mount things because that's kind of what I'm leaning for. Because there are some cool artwork ones. So now
Might
we
as well
got the
show them
serious
off.
one. Yeah, now we got the serious ones out of the way. Now I got a whole bunch more that I'm already thinking of in my head that may not be worth that much, but I still, like I said, think is neat. So send those off. Also got to save up a little bit more money again, but
Yeah.
uh, you know, probably do it again in a month or two and send off another submission. Maybe not 17 that time. I think I'll start doing it in batches of like 10 or less.
Yeah.
But
Better to keep it cheap.
yeah, you know,
Man, what a cool process. That was really awesome to watch. Really cool to hear you talk about all that stuff. You're really knowledgeable in it, and really glad you
yeah,
saved those over the years, and um, really glad you sent them in to get graded, and um, that whole thing was just really awesome. And hope everyone else liked it too. Thanks for coming along. Give Carlton a chance to say any closing words that he wants, but remember to like this video if you liked it. Don't like it if you didn't like it. If you want to see more weird, wacky stuff that I got going on and the people in my life got going on, make sure you subscribe. And thanks again for coming along. Carlton, any final words?
yeah. If you have trading cards and you want to savor them and you have that sentimental value for them, definitely put them in penny sleeves and semi-rigid holders and send some out to get graded if you think so, if you think they're worth it. There's actually a guy at work that once I started this process, started talking to him about it, and he has a ton of Marvel cards, and he started pulling them out, and I was like, dude, he just had them like raw floating around. I was like, luckily for him, they were still in good condition. I was like, get those in penny sleeves and semi-rigid holders. Luckily, he listened, and just the other day, he came in and told me, he's like, hey, I went and protected them, like you said. And so now he's actually going through the process of selecting a few because he wants to send them off to get graded. So that'll be interesting to see. And Marvel's hot right now in the trading card game. Star Wars is actually hot in the trading card game. Um, yeah, that's it. Other than that, this was an absolute joy. It just brings me back to my childhood.
Yeah.
Is
Moral
what
of the
this
story,
does.
hold on to the stuff that you're into, folks. You never know when it's
Yeah,
going to be a collectible. You never know what's going to be going on 10, 15, 20 years down the line, and what kind of cool memories you can bring back up just by looking at some of the stuff that you didn't think much of when you were younger. So,
yeah,
um, really cool, really fun experience. Thanks for coming along, Carlton. Thank you so much for sharing those with us.
yeah. Thank you for having me, Elliot.
Yeah, we'll see you. We'll see you soon. Thanks
Alrighty.
everyone for coming along, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.